It's going to be a very fashionable conversation on Date with Danu today. As my first guest, for the first time on one of my shows, I'm ever so happy to have one of the greatest designers of our times and someone who has dressed so many people. I'm happy to have Wijesuriya.
I'm Wijesuriya. I've been better known in the fashion industry. It's been 30 years in the industry now. Apart from that, I'm into hair and makeup. And for those who don't know, by profession, I'm a chef, and I do a lot of motor racing and music as hobbies. Date with Danu. This is the first time I'm being on a chat like this with Danu, and I've linked up with him quite a few times with shows and where he has compared shows and things like that. So I'm looking forward to this type of thing and we'll see how it goes. Something about Danu. Well, as a matter of fact, I've not known Danu for that long, but I've seen a lot of his YouTube videos and all that, and hilarious, funny guy, a personality of his own. Let's see how the show goes today.
He's a racer, he's a designer. I'm just trying to figure out how that combination worked. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So Michael, tell me this love for racing, burning rubber they say. When did it start? And I just can't see the connection between these two at all.
It began 40 years ago.
Okay.
When I started racing. Then I was overseas for a while, so gave up, and then due to some health conditions I had to give up for a short while, but back on track. So
okay.
15 years back.
Now this racing, you always liked it?
Yeah.
You're into cars, and are you like dirty your hand mechanic, you know what goes where?
Yeah, because with racing I think we need to know the nitty-gritties and the basics of your car and understand the car that you drive. So
yeah. Okay, I'll call you. I was so bad that I didn't even know that I had something called the handbrake. It was I was that bad. But how did designing start?
I was a hotel school graduate, and I traveled to the US when I was 19, qualified there, came back because my dad got very sick, and Dad used to run a garment buying office. So during his illness here, I stepped in to help the company here, and that's what led me to fashion. And
okay, but never decided or wanted to be a fashion designer?
Never.
Did you know how to cut a block at that time?
No.
Self-taught?
Self-taught. To date, I'm self-taught. I have not had any formal training.
But how did you get into like makeup and all? Like the whole package, somebody who comes to Wijesuriya gets the whole works.
Yeah. Well, I think wherever I've spoken about what I've done, I think the first thing I need to thank is the late Mrs. Vernon Fernando. She did my sister's wedding,
right.
And she's the one who told me, she said, get out of the industry, hotel industry is not for you, and get into this, because I sort of got involved with my sister's wedding and that sort of thing. And then my guru, Ramji Rahman, I used to hang out at his place when I was on vacation and all that, and that I sort of took a liking to what the artistic side of hair, makeup and all that. And the very person who led me into makeup was Cheryl Gunratna.
Okay.
And then I started off by doing a competition, an Asian championship.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was
directly
into a championship,
okay.
And I was first runner-up at the Asian championship. So then I thought, okay, that was a green card to, go ahead. And then I worked for Yajit Ramani and people like that. So everybody has contributed in a long way for me to move this far.
All right. We have lots to talk with the person who is going to accompany him on the show. She, I think, will always go down as one of the best beauty queens we've ever produced in our country. She has personality, she has swag, and she doesn't care to say what she feels like. And she's a lot of fun. I've always loved her company. I'm happy to have the one and only Rozanne Diasz.
Hi, I'm Rozanne Diasz. Well, I'm a choreographer, a trainer, and a mother at the moment. So I'm on a date with Danu today, and it's a double date actually. Second time I'm on his show, so really excited. I know it's going to be a blast. Danu and I go a long way. I think we click every time we meet. And see, he's the person that I really understand, and I know he understands me also. So it's very easy to connect to him when we work, but otherwise we have fun every time we meet.
And we have Rozanne Diasz. Hello.
Hi.
So Rozanne, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
This very famous Sri Lankan Airlines, some dress pageant that you wore with your complete back exposed was designed by him?
No, it was done by Dialog Ch.
Right, okay.
But Michael designed my Miss Working Girl. The first ever designer outfit that I wore for a pageant was for Miss Working Girl.
And you won that?
No, Samantha Shukraf won, and I came in third. But that was a phenomenal outfit, and that I still remember.
Why?
And I was not known at that time, right? It was like I was no one, but he volunteered to design it for me, and it was great.
She had a fabulous body.
Head.
You can just
Head.
You still have
We'll
some.
talk in the past tense.
It's still there.
Yeah.
But
Hidden somewhere.
Yeah, hidden.
Yeah.
Even me. I meant to have my 8 packs, but I've just kept it in a fridge. Called fact. All right. So Michael and Rozanne, y'all go way back.
Yeah.
Tell me when you first saw him.
Well, I have seen him even before I entered the industry. Like I always wanted to work with him. But my first ever show that I did on like a big ramp, and was when Michael, Ramani, and Senaka got together and did The Bride. Right? It was not The Bride. It was Ramsey's. It was Ramsey's. One of Ramsey's shows or Ramani's shows or Ramani's shows. Yes. So it was a huge show. I think we had about 150. No, this is before that, I think. Yeah, before
150 models.
Yeah,
all brides.
No. That was a different show. This was like a hair show, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I was like in one of the small sections, but that was the first time. I think he designed, if you can remember, like a prison stripe thing for us. So it was just a plain thing, but
it was a hair show, I think.
It was a hair show, yeah.
Okay, but you, when it comes to designing, do you sit back and think, okay, let me sketch this, let me dress it on a mannequin? No. Is that process
very practical in my work?
Okay.
It's the vision I have. I visualize something, and the thing is like this: when it's designing, you have a form that you work by.
Yeah,
you
true.
can't take something else somebody has and then think you've done it. There's certain things that you feel are pretty, certain things you look are beautiful. And it's how you perceive the woman also.
See, when we go for a fit-on, we see this cloth that has nothing, like it's just plain cloth. Then he'll take the scissor and just
cut it on you.
On us. And then the neckline will go here, and the slit will come up here, and we are like, okay, now what's going to happen? But that is just in his mind.
It's there.
Yeah. So once the outfit is done, we get to see it like minutes before we actually have to wear it.
But how does the fit work always?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like a perfect thing, and I'm just like wondering, how did he do it? There's nothing that we can complain about, and even in the level of comfort, like sometimes you have to suffer to be in fashion. You have to be a certain way, but in his outfits I have never suffered because it's always very comfortable.
Because when it comes to bridal dressing, Michael was, I think, the most wanted man. There were people who will book you, I think, even before their marriage is confirmed, just because they want you. And you brought in these whalebone jackets, correct? And it was such a
Lifted
hit.
things
Yeah,
up.
like everything that was like down there was just given
Just
new
given,
life.
yeah. And that was like the signature of my
Yeah.
Vijesuriya.
How did that
No,
come?
at the time that started, it was, I went to a store in hi.lk, can remember, and he can say there's something he mukaddo thiyena, and then I saw it was whalebone, and he had yards and yards and yards of it, and he sold it to me for weight.
Whoa.
That's how I started whalebone.
We'll come back and talk more. This is Date with Danu right here on Hi TV. It's time to get into Hot Seat. Welcome back to the show. So now Hot Seat, who shall I start with?
You pick
My OCD is bothering. Put that purple cushion straight with you.
this way
Yeah.
or
yeah,
this
that way.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Michael, I'll start with you. First time on one of my
Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Describe Colombo Fashion Week in one word.
Overrated.
Overrated. Your favorite Miss Sri Lanka, Rozanne, Stephanie Sidwardana, Geraldine Rosairo.
Don't put him in a real spot now.
No, let him choose.
I
So.
will get murdered.
You can choose someone else, no problem.
One of the first beauty queens I ever did was Geraldine.
Okay.
That was almost 29 years ago, so goes back a long ways.
No, mine also. I also like her as a Miss Sri Lanka.
No, definitely. Out of the hair and beauty industry, you can rank them according to your own order. Ramani Fernando, Harris, Ramsey, Nayana, Romesh Attapattu.
Ramani Fernando definitely would head, because I learned so much from her, and she's very versatile when it came to hair, beauty, skin, I mean everything. And her shows have been, you know, I worked with her a lot on shows and all, so it's been a thing where the fashion industry has joined up with her, do stuff. And her style is also up my street. So then I owe a lot to Ramsey. And Harrison, I have very different, I love the work he does, but I'm more out of the box,
Yeah.
sort of different, and he's very, you know, so
Very traditional,
and
yeah.
all that. So that way, Romesh, yeah, because we did a lot of shows together. When Romesh did competitions, I helped him a lot. So I
Okay.
saw Romesh grow from that age to where he is now, and he's doing so. And with Nayana, I've not worked together at all, except for on associations and all that. So we've not had any. So it would be Ramani for sure.
So diplomatic.
Explanation also.
Okay. Ramani and Aslam or Ramani and Michael?
Ramani and Michael.
If you had to crown one person as Miss Personality, who would it be out of the following? Ranjan Ramanayaka, Pumi Hansamali, Chandimal Jayasingham.
Pumi
I think
Hansamali.
Pumi, yeah. I wanted to say
Definitely.
Okay, Pumi. Rozanne, over to you now.
yeah.
Whose glowing secret has been impressive? Nelum, Michael, Chula.
They'll all have secrets that they have not told me. I know that.
They're still talking about glowing, darling,
Yeah,
glowing.
I know. No, I think Michael's secrets were a little bit, I would say, more realistic also, because
Okay.
he was not only talking about himself, but he was trying to give out secrets that he would
Use.
use also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite choreographer?
Thank you.
Senaga or Brian?
I studied under Senaga, so obviously it will be Senaga.
If Chandimal's theme for his next birthday party is Beauty and the Beast, which roles would the following people play? You have to cast 3 people for Beast, Belle, and Gaston.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't want to talk about the entire scenario,
But
because
who would you send as the Beast?
Chandimal himself.
Belle.
Ranjan from like
As Bill.
Yeah.
As Gaston.
you.
Me as Gaston?
Yeah. What else? Our friendship
I'm
is
taking
over.
you with me. As the teapot.
Destroy the party.
The moment you regret the most in life.
Well, I would like to think that I don't have any regrets, but obviously everyone regrets something at some point. But I regret that I didn't continue my studies.
Studies.
Yeah, I should have
You
continued.
are a doctor of life.
I know, but I don't have like a MBBS.
Just put me at the back, ask for my brother and put it.
He wouldn't give it.
Just ask, can I borrow it temporary? He has so many men. The whole alphabet is behind his name.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, he's working for it, I know, but a compare you love working with.
yeah, right.
Kumar De Silva, Sharon, it's Sharon Mascaras,
Sharon.
Stephanie Sirivaradhan.
Well, you've given me, from the choices you have given me, I would like to work with Kumar De Silva.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so very much. Well performed, I must say.
But you got the biggest blow.
Daggers, I'm telling you, Rozanne's daggers are coming my way. All right then. Okay, so
We have a party to attend.
okay, so Michael Wijesuriya. Now, over the years, lots of things have changed in the industry, and how has it been for you to see it? You know, back in the days, weddings were simple. It was way much more. It was still very family oriented, and not much were done for photographs. But right now, you have a pre-shoot, then you have a post-shoot, then you have a
Honeymoon shoot.
and also
Pregnancy shoot
and
after
there's
that.
a shoot when the girls alone meet. There's a shoot when the boys alone meet.
yeah.
So all of this. So now there's not one outfit. No, there are so many. Not only a going away, not only a bridal. How have you sort of adapted to this? And
What I feel is weddings have become a big business now, and it's all in the money. And I think a lot of people, I'm not going to mention names or anything, but what has ruined the industry has been coordinators. Because a lot of wedding coordinators come in and they have the package that they sell to the client. So then if you're a part of somebody's package, yeah, you get it. Otherwise, like, no, you know. So where I'm concerned, I don't work for anybody as, you know, like, I'm not a part of somebody's package or something. If somebody wants my work, they can come to me. Because I still respect what I do as a fashion designer. I will not sell my product for something less than. I'd rather do something free for somebody than do it
Then
at a
undervalue
cheap-
your
undervalue
work.
my product. And also, people kind of said, oh, why don't you give us a package, all that. We can do a package to an element where if we are doing the wedding, the homecoming, all that, but otherwise, we have got certain norms to follow. And I said, if you take what we've been like 29 years is not
easy.
easy.
Years, yeah.
So rather than going back down here, I'd rather achieve something there. And even having less work, I'd rather maintain my caliber and remain in the industry.
Let's get into a break. We'll see you after this. Rozanne always puts a selfie with me wherever we go. So this time around, let's do it on the show. It's time to update your status. Welcome back to the show. Updating status, that's what we're doing. Did you?
I did. I'm very fast.
Yeah. Did you put my edited photo or the...
Edited.
Oh, of course. Hello. We need the jawlines to show better, right? So, Rozanne, what I really like about you is, I've always told you this, you don't take yourself too seriously.
Yes.
And that's amazing. Because I will tell you this, we had this pageant that she was handling and I went to judge it.
Judge.
Judge. That
the
talent.
previous one. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
this
okay.
talent.
Okay.
After the judging was over, we decided to take a ride halfway, come somewhere, and from there,
my
because
God.
I didn't want to drive all that way,
Even I didn't drive.
Yeah,
so
that's
it
right.
was-
Because where was it?
it was-
Vattala, right?
No, it was in Vadur.
Vadur. Couldn't drive. So we decided to cab it. And we somehow came halfway point with someone.
We got a
ride.
pick up,
Pick up,
yeah.
like a drop.
Drop, yeah.
And like, we got dropped and it's like starting to drizzle as well. And she's like,
In the middle of nowhere.
yeah, in middle of like Mount Lavenia Mora tour, we have got down like all dolled up and dressed on. This one, of course, with like a malla in the hand and all, trying to just run away home. We got down and Rozanne is like, let's get into a bus. We got into a bus like two nutters. We were the loudest in the bus, man.
Then we were clicking photographs in the bus.
And we did a live video. As
Oh yeah, we did a live video in the bus. My God! And then we didn't have. Did we have money to pay?
no, we didn't. We didn't have
money.
to. Misra, you know.
And then we got off.
And you know why we got on, right? The bus turned in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, we got into the wrong bus in Mount Lavenia.
And we had to get down in Devil because they just turned. And we're like killing us at the end. Then
We told the bus to change the route.
and we jumped out. Like, I have traveled all my life in a bus, but we have not traveled in a long time. After dolling yourself up so much, and they were all like,
And it was at about 9:30 in the
yeah,
night.
like late in the night. Clearly, they would have thought, "Me then now arang bisi karla." Order karapo ekne me gila dene.
That was fun.
It was fun. How do you balance that? Have you changed over the years? Like,
No, I've always been like this, crazy and I just want to do things that makes you feel happy, and I want to be happy all the time. I don't want to have this thing that I'm going through this, I've gone through this, and there's so many of issues. You don't have to worry all the time. Sometimes you can just chill and just forget about everything.
out of your family, your brothers and you, very different, is it?
I guess my elder brother and I are a little bit similar,
Okay.
but my younger brother and I are poles apart. Yeah.
How is your mum?
She also likes to chill. She's still,
But she is
Well-
definitely a strong woman.
she is, of course, but she doesn't take it to heart like me. She'll take it one day at a time,
Okay.
and she'll just want to move on and just live for the moment. I mean, she wouldn't want to think about the future too much and worry about it. We'll wait till worry worries us. We
And
wouldn't-
not worry.
Not worry.
Michael, you have had a heart issue. How did you overcome it? Were you scared?
No.
You have a pacemaker, right?
I've had it for 17 years.
17 years. Long.
I would have had the issue from childhood, but
You never knew about it.
well, I knew I was being treated for something else.
Ah.
So I have been on different types of drugs till this happened. Actually, at home in my bedroom, I had an attack, and they thought it was the same thing. But at the same time, Dad was at the ICU at hi.lk with dengue. So
oh gosh,
my-
it was like a double blow for
so
the
my
house.
sister decided just to take me into, and with nothing, they just wheeled me to the ICU and put me there, and my luck.
How old were you at this time?
I'm 57 now, so I was 39 when it happened. So I had an attack in the ICU at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where the doctors came to just see me and just to discharge me. I was in a pair of shorts and t-shirt, and I had this attack there, and I was 17 seconds clinically dead. There was nothing, no ECG, nothing. Doctors there, they gave me the heart massage, everything, and tried to revive. And my brother-in-law's first cousin was Dr. Wijesuriya who was there, and they were all there, and they tried to revive me. And whatever they did, I didn't know what had happened. And they'd called my brother from the hospital and said, come immediately, Mr. Wijesuriya is serious. So they assumed it was my father.
Right, okay.
So they
Because
went
he's the one who was
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
So they went into his cubicle, and he was sitting up there, and so they told Mom not to go in the room. So then my sister had walked to my cubicle, and she found all the blinds shut and covered up and tubes and this and that. And she had asked the matron, where is my brother? She had said, go and meet doctor, that's your brother. And he suffered a major heart attack, and this is what happened. So I was in the ICU for 30 days, and that's when the first pacemaker came on.
This is just a man who went to the hospital in
Shorts t-shirt. They took me by ambulance, and I refused to even get on the wheelchair or the stretcher. I pushed my own wheelchair, and they were laughing. They said, according to hospital rules and regulations, it is not, because they could get in trouble. But I said, I'm entering for nothing. But my sister still says she can't imagine why they wheeled me into the ICU, because the gentleman who's in the next cubicle to me, he was working for PEO Beverages. He came into the same issue, and unfortunately, he didn't come on time. So the oxygen cut off to the brain. He was paralyzed after that. So God gave me a second.
And you were at the right place
At the right time.
At the right time, and to be in the ICU
With all the doctors around me when it happened.
and at 2 o'clock in the morning, random visit.
They wanted only a blood test done. They were doing the blood test when this happened.
You were clinically dead for 17
seconds.
seconds. Gosh. And ever since then, you have.
Yeah, I've just had the third pacemaker replacement, but obviously it's something that's got to do with the family, because my niece also had it at the age of 16, and she's now a doctor, and she's 25, so she's had it. She's still on the first one, so obviously it's not pacing as much as mine, because I think my lifestyle, my motor racing and all, gets the battery.
You live on the edge. Let's get into a break. We're going to speak a little bit about what happens on the other side. Means after the break, what happens on the other side. Welcome back. So I really have to get into this information. What was the experience? Because everyone experiences something very unique that only they will know.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
Well, what happened here was this whole thing came up because I can last remember the syringe being put in and then drawing blood. And then hearing the doctors say oxygen, doctors, and a lot of commotion in the room, and then I didn't know what happened. And it must have been about 2 days after that I actually regained consciousness properly, and I knew the situation. But it was amazing, the experience, because I was in the ICU, and I can last remember all these doctors around me, nurses, matrons, and all that. And this feeling of as if my body was still on the bed, and like something rose out of my body, and I was in mid-air, and I would look down on this body and think. So I felt like very light. I can remember everything was just white around me, like difficult to describe. It was like just white, everything
It's
was
like in the movies.
like as if it's the scenery you normally see, but in shades of white.
Okay.
But I can remember looking down on this whole body of mine and thinking, who is that? What is he doing there? And I felt like completely away
You were detached from your.
from my body. So that was an experience I had to speak to a lot of people about, because even the doctors would come and ask me, what did you feel? Because there was the ECG, the machines and all just went zeroed. And again, this doctor who actually gave me the heart, must be your size, he went on and on and on for the simple reason that they didn't know what to tell my parents, because the man who came in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, still in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and to call home and say such a thing had happened and come soon. And the saddest part was my dad was in ICU, and he kept complaining to my older brother saying, this bugger can't come and see me, he has so much work that he has no time for his old father and all that. And finally, after about a week, they had to break the news to him, and they wheeled him with his oxygen and on the wheelchair into my room. And all he said was, let him leave, I can go. Because both of us were in ICU. And there was my mother shunting from one cubicle to the other, trying to keep peace with my father, saying, no, he's busy, he's that, till ultimately they broke the news to him. And I can remember him being wheeled in. And
How did your life change after that?
well, actually, life has never been any different to the way I was brought up. Life has always been very calm and all that. And for the last 6 years, it has taken up. turn, because I've learned through a lot of things that we need a spiritual life to move further. And I have a mentor in my life now, and somebody who has given me so much to learn of. I've been a Christian from childhood, church going, Sunday school. We are taught to do the right thing. You know, parents brought up us to do the right thing, all that. But understanding and putting the word of the Bible into day-to-day practice and living that way has been really good for the past 6 years. And my journey has been very different. Work-wise and all, I don't look back and think, it's not all about material things, but it's how I can be instrumental in taking the word and, living a life that's righteous.
So you have known him through all of this?
Yes, and I know him, I know the other version of Michael, that you must be knowing a part of him, but see, he's a person that you can call him anytime during the day or night. He'll always be there, and he'll always comfort you, and he'll always have something positive to share. He wouldn't bring anyone down, and so I've always had a connection with him, because and you ask him anything, he'll never say no. He'll try it, even if he can't do it, he'll try to make arrangements that somehow or the other you will get it. So it's amazing that there is a person like this in the industry. He has never refused anyone who has come to him for a dress or for anything. Even I know he has lost a lot of things by giving people
One
things.
good thing was I went to a former person, Miss Sri Lanka, who lost her dad, and I'm not a person who parties with anybody. You won't see me at a party or a cocktail or anything. I keep to myself, and my motor racing is but I can remember walking to the house, and there were 5 or 6 people around her, and her father's body was there and all. And I said, what could I do? And she was devastated with the situation. But I can remember even the Malabata that day, I got the whole thing organized. And then the thing she told me, she said, you don't party, you don't come here, you don't join us for anything, but at a time like this, there is just a handful of people who can actually come and be of some support to you. And that's me. I'm more, I'd rather do something constructive for somebody than just be there and, hobnob and blabber with him.
Yeah, he'll never party. He didn't even attend my wedding. I invited him. No, he would not come.
And this is after making your outfit?
Yeah.
You would have given that invitation to me?
But another thing about him is he'll never say he's not coming also.
Just
yeah.
leave you guessing.
Yeah. So we are always thinking that he will attend, but he'll never
forgive
come.
you for it. No. If I ever get married, Rozanne, you're never going to be.
I'm going to get cash. I'm going to get cash.
Let's get into Sticky Situ. It's such a moving show, but I really have to talk about this very important thing, and I was waiting for this segment. Welcome back. So this Sticky Situ is a bit different this time around. Actually, I have sticky questions to ask Rozanne. But with Michael, there's a reason why this is the first show that I'm hosting with him. That's because I think, what can I say? There were a few things that went on my column which offended Michael. But it also was beyond my control in certain way. And also, I also didn't know how exactly to handle it because I was very young. I was in my early 20s, and I asked questions which are quite controversial as always, because that's the nature of the job that I do, and somebody utterly threw him under the bus. And I published it as it was because I didn't see anything wrong with it, but of course it upset you. And we had not a confrontation, we never spoke about it, but we never spoke about it, and we never spoke to each other as well, and it just moved on. But over the years, I think I've told this to Rozanne, I'm like, I never got a chance to exactly come to know Michael, but it has been many, many years from there. I think now it has been nearly 11 years. And the last time I saw Michael and I spoke was at a coffee stop when you were with your niece. She was a little girl and you were buying cake. And I still remember that was the last time I spoke to you, and after that we never spoke. And over the years, I'm so happy that you have been a bigger person to sort of accept me back and speak to me and accept my invitation and be on the show. I was so happy, and I think I told Rozanne, I was like, I'm so grateful that he said yes, because I'm excited to have him. Because it's like you don't want to miss out on opportunities. And I'm so glad that we are both in a place in our lives where we can see beyond that. And I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
Now let's throw Rozanne under the bus. So Rozanne, you had a problem with a choreographer recently.
Oh, yeah.
You did a show that he asked you not to do specifically.
No. He didn't ask me not to do it. He just said...
He's a senior.
Yeah.
And she loves him. She loves him.
He hates me.
No.
Yeah.
And funnily, Hi TV did a show with the two of them. And at
Just
that time,
before,
just before the fight. And
it was not
a fight.
Yeah.
But she's really sad about it because she loves him as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
want
tell
me-
me about it. And also the second half of the recording
love him
means
as a person.
in the show, there's one segment where they are both together. That's in our episodes called Cubicle, and you will now know. But the other episode is the pre. For the pre, they were like not talking to each other.
And then I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll not say anything.
And the other, in the show, it all comes together. But between the two recording days, things have changed. How did you? Have you been able to merge things
No, I
together?
tried to speak to him several times, but he avoided me. But I don't want to speak about it or say anything.
Because I
just
know how
wanna-
much you are upset about the fact that
Yeah.
because you love him so much.
The thing is, I think it was a misunderstanding, and I respect him a lot because I learned a lot about the industry from him initially. So I just want to keep it like that. I don't want to talk anything.
But I guess it happens a lot in the industry.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It was a misunderstanding for sure, and he got hurt because I did a show that he refused. He refused, and I didn't know he refused. But later on, when I said okay, he called me and said, "This is the show I refused." I guess in the back of his mind, he would have expected
you
me
to say
refuse.
to refuse too.
But I had already committed to another friend who undertook the show.
Yeah.
So I was in a sticky situation. But I guess.
No, the reason why I said it is because I know how bad you felt because I worked with you on that show and
Yeah.
you felt so bad, and I really wanted to
I
tell
still
you.
feel bad.
Yeah.
I want him to be my friend.
Yeah, because I
like he
really
used
wanted to explain your side of the story because believe
A
it or
lot
not,
was said about me and how I did it and why I mean how unprofessional
Yeah.
I was and
But
things like that.
his
But
name was mentioned on this show. Guess who? But Michael, a lot of people tend to misunderstand you and come up with all types of stories. How do you work around it?
It's like this, when it comes to my work, I'm very professional. I don't like to sell my product where I, shove it down your throat and say, oh, I'm the best at this and all that. I feel it's left for the person to approach me if they like me, because I don't do any advertising at all. 29 years I've not done anything.
So it's all just
word of mouth. I hardly have an Instagram page
I always scold him for that.
for that. And so whoever really comes to me
don't give it to her. She'll put only selfies of her.
comes, in search of the product. But the other side of me, I'm fun-loving, comedy. I love to joke. I love to, when I'm with my friends, I'm a totally different person. But I don't bring that life into my business side of it because I feel that, as I said, people need to come because my product is good. Like if you go to a doctor or somebody, if you don't like his face or you don't like his personality, that doesn't mean that you don't like what he does for you.
True. If he can save your life,
If
you
can
want
say-
him.
Yeah, you want the doctor. So it's like that. So a lot of people can say, oh, he's stuck up, he doesn't smile, he doesn't say much. But I'm not a person on the first meeting or the second meeting. But after it's verbal diarrhea. The first or second meeting, I don't like, oh yeah, come, we'll do this, we'll do that. That's not me.
You even dressed a bride in black, right?
Yeah, so we have done
He loves to dress
I do,
brides in
because I
black.
see, you take the fashion element of it separately and the actual wedding separately.
The latest one is we put a bride in the pool.
Yeah. That's with him.
That's with him. Who else?
Sorry, I didn't.
So it's like that, you know. So, and what happens is you get in the industry, there are a lot of wannabes. They follow what you are doing and they want to take it on from there, because I know, like I used to work with Graham Hatch, the late Mr. Graham Hatch, Ramani Mai. So we were like a team, you know, whoever we worked with. Even the models, I still work with people like Chulakshi, Bianca, you know, that clique, you know, Geraldine, still models for me.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're comfortable and you feel that your clothing suits somebody, you still work with that person, you know. My 25 years, I brought people like Michiko's mom, Charlene. She walked the ramp for me because I've done clothes for her. So I walked 60 models there, one outfit per model. And it was all people who meant something to me. Audrey walked the ramp and she said, no way, because she was bit big, you know. But I said, no, I said, it's not about your size or nothing, but I said, it's the sentiment that goes with what I've done for you and you need to be there. And all walked and we had an amazing
I remember seeing pictures of that. Let's get into a break. We'll see you with our final segment on the other side. Now to see what's on their Facebook. Alright, so Michael Wijesuriya is so low-key on social media, it's not even funny. It's like a ghost town there.
I always try to tell him to improve his social media
Nothing to even find, but I found this.
Oh, yes. That's the first fashion week that we had here. Yeah.
Golf Fest Hotel.
Golf Fest.
Ah, the first Colombo
Fashion Week. And he was the designer with a couple of Indian designers.
I remember these type of shirts those days. Man, it was such a big thing, no? I also had a blue one like that.
And look at him, he looks so different.
Yeah. Yes. And look at you.
Yeah.
Does your husband approve of these photographs? He looks
He has
unhappy.
no choice. He has no choice.
That Dialog has suffered. Just make him take photographs after photographs.
I only make sure if I look good, it's
That's it.
posted.
You don't care who is behind you, who is doing what. None of that matters, of course.
Background doesn't matter.
That's
that
how
all fits the background.
Yeah.
He is also a piece of background.
He's a background piece there. Now, there's a future when it comes to Rozanne's place.
Oh.
Growing to be
Yes.
drama.
She's already booked Michael.
Ah, really?
Yeah, already booked Michael.
For the wedding?
For the wedding, for every occasion. For Christmas, for birthdays.
The birthday was coming up then.
Yeah, we couldn't do it, but she sent.
But she's 13 now.
Yeah, she's 13.
Already booked.
Diva.
Already booked, yeah.
Diva to the core.
Yeah.
She only has a little bit to grow. Then
But
she's
she's a
your height.
child. With
Yeah, of course. But actually, she has got the prettiest out of you.
Yeah.
And just left. Just not pretty, prettiest.
That was that Miss Universe.
My favorite photos.
Yeah.
Actually, man, stunner. You are ripped, Rozanne. Your arms are ripped.
Well, I used to work out at
born
that
at
time.
that time.
Yeah. Now
we
I
were all
just-
at the pageant.
Yes, 47 of them
Flew?
flew to
No way.
Thailand. Yeah.
I went with Audrey and
Yeah.
Koshi.
And it was like a huge party.
Yo, the ones now, they go alone.
No one
means
knows
in-
whether they are going,
Yeah,
no one
I mean,
knows whether they are
how?
coming. 47 I would count. 47.
So there was actually cheer when they said Sri Lanka.
You know, the auditorium was full of Sri Lankan flags.
But we ultimately ended up with a Canadian flag.
Yeah, because, I mean, she won,
Ah, okay.
right?
And the
So
parents were
once
seated
I
by
was
us.
moved out, they moved into
Yeah.
another.
They were
So
like, let's now cheer.
the
for
parents were
Canada.
with us. So they gave us the flag and said, cheer, this is
Yeah,
my
now
daughter.
we all
Because
have
they
a
were
very
the
good.
only people
Yeah, they
cheering
sing.
her.
Only mother
yes.
and father.
So like
and
a
we
cheer.
got up on our chairs and we had a blast.
Yeah,
And we
the
walked around the
after
auditorium
party
with,
and
with the Canadian flag and all. They were like, which part of Canada are you from and all that. I was like, okay. Luckily I was there, so I knew what to say. But the others, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's good times, good times.
I had the best pageant, I think.
Now, you are very much still walking, no?
That was some time ago.
Ah,
about
really?
2 years ago.
2 years ago is nothing, so.
Yeah, but I look fat.
That's because you're looking at your ripped photos.
Yeah.
You have given birth to 2, darling. 2.
Yeah, long time ago though.
That's okay. So not everyone.
I'm not complaining. I'm very happy this way.
Yeah, I know. You look. Hello, glowing secrets.
Yeah.
This is the night you won, right?
No. This was when I crowned Jackie.
The next
when I
year.
was, handing
When you were
it
removing
over.
your
Yeah,
crown.
handing it over.
Also golf face.
Golf face.
I love this dress too. This is like a
Float
bit of a J-Lo.
J-Lo. It was a J-Lo.
The Versace one, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Not as dangerous as that.
It was.
Oh,
at
really?
the back, and you have only part of it.
Do you have that dress?
I do have it.
You should wear it. And
No,
walk
my
around.
heavens. It will be such a disaster now.
J-Lo walked when she was 50. You can do it.
Yeah, right. That's
You have time.
J-Lo.
You have time. Let's do it.
Not in that dress. I'll just walk.
Just carry it in your hand.
Hang on and walk.
Ayo. But anyway, I'm so happy that you guys got on this show. I mean, I'm really happy. Can't get there. So, fitted, no, all of this. Very, I'm sure you can relate to this. Actually, I
Very
feel it when I have to tie the shoelace. That's when you know that.
I'm not going to talk. I have so many things that I can't do at the moment. But I'm going to sit up straight.
No wonder Dilruk has this face.
But he has never complained about my weight. Never. So that's why I'm not losing. God, Danu.
So size doesn't matter,
No, it
darling.
doesn't.
Tell me the secrets later.
You have to ask him. He's the one who is comfortable with it.
But you are the one who is performing.
God. My child is
On that note, we need to wrap things up on the show. Michael, thank you so very much for being
you
here.
very much.
So happy to have had you and so happy that this conversation happened. And we will see you with another cool episode. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.